We have shown people how great a crime was committed against the very fabric of reality itself with the false flag atrocity that was 9/11. 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 False flag atrocity that was 9/11.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a message from Her Majesty's Institute for Brainwashing and Propaganda. Remain as terrified as you can. Please look up to your nearest CCTV camera so your face may be recorded. We are all suspects in the new state, scared of terrorism. The person standing next to you could be an Al-Qaeda terrorist.
There were no terrorists that did September the 11th. It was them and the Israelis. They lied to you. They're using the media, the corporate-controlled media, to tell you lies, to keep you stupid and ignorant. It's all propaganda. It's all rubbish. But the whole theater, you start believing it. Big government, big corporations working together, killing terrorists, keeping you scared. It's not real. None of it is real. It's all an illusion. They justify their existence by keeping you terrified, and then you pay taxes. There's no need to. It's all an illusion. Sorry? Sorry? Which bastards? Terrorists. No. It was the Israelis and the British and Americans. Did you get your information from the corporate-controlled media, or did you do your own research, sir? You watch the news. It's very true. Keep watching the news. See how what's very interesting, David? It's not so much the state that has an issue, because they know I'm potentially speaking the truth. It's the other members of the public that take offense, because they don't want anyone to step out the blade above the rest of the grass, because it threatens them. To have someone trying to speak a bit of truth, it embarrasses them and also makes them feel uncomfortable, which is why we police ourselves, we censor ourselves, and that's very interesting.
This is what upsets me so much. It's as soon as you start talking and provoke people to think outside of the box, cognitive dissonance, they start shouting at you, abusing you.
Yes.
And because they can't afford to think about what might be really going on, because it's so much easier to watch the news. Like the guy said, he said, "Where'd you get information from?" He said, "The news." Do you think about the fact that the World Trade 7 building actually was reported as having collapsed on the news before it even happened?
Yes.
So where are the news getting their information from? From a script.
I wish for this meeting today to be another stepping stone towards a day that I want to make the biggest protest of sentient human beings in the history of this country. It is only through massive and persistent people power can we force the elites out of government. I speak of September the 11th, 2011, 11 months from this month. The 10-year anniversary since the false flag attacks of 9/11 turned us into a global kingdom of fear and paranoia. I shall call this upcoming date next September the end of fear, not because I believe that the passing of this date will end all fear, but that it will reassert the courage of people that has been decimated from the illegal wars, the ignored mass protests before Iraq, and of course the death of confidence on that Blue Tuesday in 2001. May history remember the 11th of September as a day of victory, of truth, of honor, passion and brotherhood in the face of the faceless machine, of the corporate horror we live under. Our day is approaching. History will be made, and the future will look back on our efforts with joy and love, because we did not bend over, we did not submit, but did everything we could to overturn the world's cartelism and indignity with a sheer force of numbers.
We asked them certain difficult questions, such as, you know, to the structural engineers, what happened to the internal columns when that plane of the World Trade Center 1 and 2, what happened when the planes hit at 500 miles an hour? And they say, frankly, we don't know. There was damage, but we don't know. And these guys didn't try and bullshit us. They didn't try and give us propaganda. They gave us honest answers. I knew I was going to get flack for this. I knew I was going to get criticism for changing my own mind, which is something which seems to be discouraged in any minority or fringe group, be it a gang, or a religion, or a cult, or a activist movement, or the truth movement, for example. The truth movement is so certain that what it has around 9/11 is the truth, that it even calls itself the truth movement, and I think this is very dangerous. The truth movement is so certain that what it has around 9/11 is the truth, that it even calls itself the truth movement, and I think this is very dangerous.
We're just truth seekers, and the 9/11 truth movement is trying to find out the truth about what happened. We're just truth seekers, and the 9/11 truth movement is trying to find out the truth about what happened.
Whichever way you look at 9/11, inside job, not inside job, planes or no planes, bombs or no bombs, it was human beings who did this to other human beings because of actions of state. We know why the Islamists did 9/11. It was because of America's financial military support for Israel and American troops in Saudi Arabia. And they came out and said statements to that effect, which is why they did 9/11.
There were no terrorists that did September the 11th. It was them and the Israelis.
Since I did my video saying I don't believe in the 9/11 conspiracy thing anymore, David Icke has attacked me twice. And it's so telling, like, just how crazy he is.
A man who I admire greatly has turned up. David, hello, mate.
David Icke has attacked me twice. And it's so telling, like, just how crazy he is.
A man who I admire greatly has turned up. David, hello, mate.